Prefecture, Japan. I'm so late. Sorry. I wonder if you guys are awake. Hopefully somebody will come. So, the last time that I talked to you, it was the voting day of our House of Councillors election, national election, upper house election. This is a result. Sad face. You want to see more? Sad face, sad face, sad face. Too many Ishiba faces. So crazy. This is historical, by the way. Historically bad. Oh, first, hello, thanks for coming. Hello, Yoko-san, hello, thank you so much for coming. It's awful. What's going on in Japan is awful. What's awful is that, so he's LDP, he lost, right? Really bad. And it was actually his third time to lose. Last year, probably in the fall, we had a House of Representative elections. LB was not good. They lost. And they had a local election in Tokyo. They lost. This time they lost yet. And our newspaper is pushing him to, this means to withdraw, to quit, quit. But, I mean, this is more saying oh, Ishiba is probably going to resign, he is to quit kind of thing, because that's common sense. If you, even once, he lost the election last year, and that's he had to take the responsibility. He didn't. Second time, he didn't. Third time, and guess what? He is not gonna quit. At least for now. We are saying, we keep saying, immediately, sir, step down now. He's not listening. Oh, we gotta think about what's gonna happen. Earthquake might happen. And he did talk about natural disasters, so that's why he cannot step down and that sort of things. And we're like, what? that happens anytime, So crazy. Yon, happy Sunday. Hello, thanks for coming. What's the news, Yoko-san? Crazy, silly Prime Minister not willing to step down. That's our huge topic. And now inside his party, LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, over 1/3 of the members are saying, the party members are now power struggle is happening. And they're saying that he has to quit. They're collecting signatures from the members inside the party, his party. 1/3 agreed, and now they're trying to collect to the majority of votes. And then they're gonna have a meeting, together. It's not the national diet, but the party, because the election and there's a bad result, and he needs to take the responsibility, right, and quit. But he's not willing to. But then they had an election. They're about to have a meeting from both upper house, lower house together, But he's there's a level of the meeting, how, they're just meeting. Is it gonna be just a meeting, or is it gonna include votes to vote him out and that sort of thing? So a lot of power struggles happening. Yes. You saw all those recalls fell in Taiwan also. Yeah, it was reported in today's newspaper, I think. I'm not following Taiwanese news much, so I didn't know about this, and I don't really know what's happening. Is it bad for life? Taiwan, it says Taiwan, recall. And there's a picture of Taiwan. See? So it's reported, but I didn't know about this. So it's gonna affect him in the coming election or something, right? I didn't get to read it much. Hello from state of California, hello. Thanks for coming. It's midnight over here. I know. Thank you so much for tuning in, regardless. Hello, hello. It makes me think of when Newt Gingrich, 誰だっけこれ stepped down as Speaker of the House of Representatives after Republicans lost badly. Oh yeah, statement. Oh, I see. Yeah. Budapest, Hungary. Ooh, you're from Hungary? Cool. I can't say Hungary, right? I almost said Hungary. I'm always hungry. Yeah, always there when there. So, what's happening is that Ishiba, the current Prime Minister of Japan, Ishiba, where is his picture? So this guy, when LDP lost in 2007, he was like, the prime minister was Shinzo Abe, so he's like, quit, you gotta take the responsibility, quit. And he kept bashing Shinzo Abe. And he stepped down. And this guy who was telling Abe to quit, he's not willing to quit. And it's crazy. As I said, like elections, that's where our opinions, people's, like voters' opinions are reflected in the votes. And the votes say that it's historically bad this time, that all these LDP votes they flew to a few different parties. Like it's apparent because like when our media takes a survey, we ask like, who do you support? Like, which party do you support regularly? So then they're gonna say, oh, LDP, but who or where, like, which party did you vote for this time? And then they're gonna say the different party names. So we know like how it flew and like, went to other places and so on. So it's his fault, He gotta take the responsibility. And right now, like Trump senpai is here too. Yay! But it's uncertain what is happening. I don't know, actually. So when they reached the agreement, the Japan-U.S. tariff negotiations, when came to the agreement, like I saw like foreigners, who are familiar with Japanese politics, they're like, yay, agreement! And you guys congratulated us as well. But still right now, like I'm like, it's been days and I still don't know what it's like, if it's good or bad for Japan. Like, because LDP is saying like, oh, we just decided the frame of how much that our government is gonna invest. But then what's gonna happen to the merits and that sort of things? Like, oh, is it gonna be like loans or what? Like and it's not documented. So it's so hard to analyze, right? And Japanese side and Trump's side are saying different things also. So it's so confusing. And the biggest reason though why I didn't put, like I haven't posted about, like I haven't made a post about the negotiations. Why? Because it includes like if I am to show the Japanese perspective, I will have to say negative things about Trump, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm like keeping quiet. So the day that the agreement was reported, by the media, I watched the TV and the experts on American politics from the Republican side, actually. Like there's this Japanese associate professor, Mieko Nakabayashi. She's really good, conservative, and also she served the Republican Party lawmaker before. She worked in Washington, D.C., and she knows a lot about America. But she was talking about how Trump felt the pressure. And it's not only her that are pointing this out, but I hear from Japanese experts that Trump had to come to an agreement and so on, even though there are some rumors that they have already decided back in June, whatever. But at least what they were saying was that Trump is having a difficult time in America right now because the MAGA community is divided due to the Epstein problem. And so what their reasoning was that because Trump is having a hard time trying to, he is bashed because of Epstein file, and then he needs something good to, something good that like he needs some kind of achievement credit for a good job. So then the deal with Japan was useful and so on. But there's no way that I can confirm that, but there are some people talking about the information. I don't know where it's coming from, so I can't really say, but that's what I hear. And me posting about it doesn't really help anybody, so that's why I have been kind of quiet. If you know what I mean, yeah. And I don't know, and plus I don't know, you see the number 15, I don't know if it's good or bad. And also what's important is that Trump imposed these tariffs onto Japan, and with that premise we worked hard and kind of protected, we lowered the number. However, it's still if you consider what used to be the conditions before Trump said all these things, compared to before, it's worse, obviously. So I don't know. But then what's interesting though is that Japanese people are not really criticizing Trump because Trump is being Trump, and he wants to make America great again. We have known that, and American people chose him for that. We know that. We respect that, what people are thinking in America. What's important is that as a counterpart, what Japan is going to do. And we have this prime minister who doesn't really have a vision. Unlike Abe, he doesn't communicate with Trump well, at least Abe used to communicate with Trump on a personal level even, talking to Trump for over an hour. He used to do that. Not this guy. So how is he going to work things well, I know that bureaucracy tried so hard to, of course, with the circumstances, I bet that Japan did a great job. But, because he is the face of Japan. Japanese people do not like this guy. Majority of us do not like this guy. But then LDP people inside their party, when they had an election last year to try to pick their party leader, but then they thought that he would be better than the other candidate, Takaichi, the female conservative one, because they, of course, have power struggles inside LDP, and they have their own reasons, aside from national interests and so on, and and they thought that probably they calculated instead of Takaichi, picking Takaichi has risks as well, because people, especially leftists and also conservatives, we look at Ms. Takaichi as very similar to former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. What that means is that Shinzo Abe was so good, but we all know that he was a conservative, and the leftists kind of react to him, just like leftists in the US are reacting to Trump in a negative way because Trump, anything that Trump does, leftists attack him, right? Overreact and everything. That's the same case for Abe. Abe is used to be disliked by the media and the leftists in general, just the presence of Abe was bad for leftists, so kept bashing and bashing and bashing. Later, there was another prime minister, and then Mr. Kishida took power, and when he was in power, he did even more conservative things and the media was quiet. Why? Because Kishida didn't have the characteristics of conservatives. Like they didn't know that Kishida would be conservative, even though he was carrying on with the railway that Abe had prepared, like just stepped in more. And media was quiet. And Ishiba now, because media thinks that he is liberal, media is actually supporting leftists today, or like supporting Ishiba, even creating a hashtag saying "Don't quit." They were bashing Abe. Now they're supporting Ishiba not to quit because it benefits them, the left side. Meanwhile, like whilst like we with the people are not supporting him, if you know what I mean. And Takaichi is close to Abe, so if she becomes a prime minister, then it's good for us conservatives. But generally, if you think about diplomacy and so on, South Korea and so on, like they would be China too, China, North Korea, even South Korea. Some of the South Koreans probably will have negative views. So like, is that good for us in a big picture? So it's hard to kind of decide, but yeah. Anyway, super chat. Thank you so much, Mensa Sone. Oh wait, I'm looking hearts. Thank you so much. 4日の税金を払った。ありがとう。ありがとうございます。I am so happy. That makes me so happy. Other people, if you want to make me happy, give me super chat. Thank you. Sorry, I rambled so much, and I'm gonna look at your comments. こんにちは、ようこさん。こんにちは。Anyone who bashes Shinzo Abe is a bad person, in my opinion. Shinzo Abe was a wonderful man. Yeah. But because he is no longer with us, what happens is that like people are using him in any way possible, every way possible. So that's kind of bad. Anyway. Hello from Germany. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. おじいちゃん静かにして。What don't you love top India, Mexico, Canada, New Africa, Free Palestine? What are you saying? I think Trump is starting to realize he shouldn't be fighting everyone everywhere all at once and doesn't really want to fight with Japan in order of Abe. I don't know if he thinks about Abe because he is gone, The case, like Trump likes Abe so much, but on a personal level, and now that he's gone, and of course, like they can't talk anymore. And it's not like Trump has to be nice to us, just another country, just an ally. He knows that we are important, but he didn't like Japan probably back in the 80s because Japanese cars were selling well and we were kind of an economic threat to people like Trump, So probably like his fundamental impression of Japan is probably negative. So, and it's he talks about the 80s a lot, and he often I don't know, one day he says oh, Japan is good and blah blah blah, but then next day he blames us for what was happening back in the 80s and so on. So I don't know, but yeah, it's good though that if he wants us to be nice to him just so that he can get a credit for all the hard work that he is doing, that's a win-win situation for Japan. So yeah, been waiting all week for your response to the elections and Sunseto and Tariff, etc. Thank you so much. If you give me super chat, it will be prioritized. What is this Tikosnagyon? This guy is kind of weird. kind of whispering. But yeah, BRICS. Speaking of, if you want to talk about BRICS, like I can talk about BRICS. You know, like India is there, so that's our, like, you know, India is an interesting country because their diplomacy is unique. You know, like usually, like, you know, when you think about G7 countries, for example, like we, why India is in India って G7 入ってるっけ？入ってるわけね。Yeah, like so, like yeah, 対比を作りたかったからさ。So G7 countries, like we usually, you know, pick a side, right? Like we are the free country side, while there are authoritarian countries, you know, like China, Russia, and so on. And somehow India is supposed to be part of our side, with even, you know, having this what you call the strategy, common strategy called in free and open Indo-Pacific strategy, and all the other framework as well. Like we are with India, but at the same time, India is it has a lot to do with the Cold War era probably, but like they are also like nice to the other side, and part of me is like, that's like kind of tricky, that's kind of dangerous, but at the same time, because they are in between, they can be the bridge, and that's what they like about themselves for. So yeah, so that's something that I pay attention to when I think about BRICS. And there are so many people that criticize globalism, but they don't criticize BRICS. They have their own what you call globalism. So I don't know why they're not talking about it. Like I want people to at least be coherent, you know, have a same standard and so on. Yeah, Ishiba doesn't seem to do well. LDP lost numerous seats. Yeah, giving seats to smaller parties. It's so silly. Another one aspect that I'm seeing though is that just like you know, in America somehow now like Republican side is with the people. What I'm trying to say is like laborers and all the like non-elite type of people, you know, they support Republicans, like all the so-called like rednecks, you know, like I don't know the nicer way to say, but like I see like a Rust Belt type of people, I would say, and like Democrats have turned into this elite party, right? And Trump is, and people do not like that, or like they don't feel close to them anymore, you know, because they are so elite, like top kind of people, like higher class people. And then those people came to the Republican Party supporting Trump and his agenda, right? It's more like vibrate with them better. And same, I feel like the same thing is happening in Japan. The LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, has been in power for such a long time that there are like vested interests. Is it called that like that? Like, you know, there are like interests that are formed and kept, you know, and they. And the opposition parties, you know, like the Constitutional Democratic Party, the biggest opposition party in Japan, they're so lazy. All they need to do is to just bash LDP here and there, and it seems like they are doing a good job. It appears to be so. And so they don't really have to try hard, you know, like because Abe administration was so long, they got lazy. Because Abe was so strong, he kept winning. So they couldn't get seats from him, and then they got used to losing, and then they got lazy, you know, just bash LP sometimes. But then like this time too, like Ishiba, like he's not doing well. So the opposition parties can, you know, have a motion, I don't know what it's called in English, to basically to deny him, but they just threaten with doing that, and they don't actually make him go, like make that proposal, like saying that, oh, we don't trust you kind of thing. So that's interesting. Yep. Darn, I'm late. I'm late too. Thanks for coming. Let's see. It seems to me that LDP needs to decide if it's a conservative party or not. You cannot govern in both directions and expect good results. They shouldn't embrace conservatism and go with it. LDP, first of all, isn't actually a conservative party. Like, they are kind of, when you lay out all the parties in Japan, they just end up as a conservative party, kind of, because others are very, very left-leaning, if you know what I mean. Like, by contrast, what's that term? I forgot that important. I learned that word recently. Why did I forget that? Wait for me. Relatively. Relatively, LDP is conservative, and that's just it. Like, they don't have ideology. Japanese politics, in general, this is the biggest premise in Japan when you talk about Japanese politics, but parties are not really about ideology in Japan, so don't get tricked. Even this woman, for example, that joined Sanseido this time, the Sanseido is a right-wing party. I don't think of the party as a right-wing. Like, they're not even right-wing. They're just crazy, extreme people, okay? But anyway, so they don't really have conservative values too. Just happens to be on the conservative side just because the top guy, the leader, used to be in conservative circle, but he doesn't really have conservative values. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the lady that joined Sanseido, she joined Sanseido because she couldn't go to, like, she was I guess is it denounced, like removed from another party, like she couldn't run from another party, so she ended up joining Sanseido. That's a symbolic thing that happens in Japan. So that's why, like, some of the parliament members, national diet members in LDP came from the Democratic Party. That happens. Because why do they do that? Because they want to win, but LDP has a lot of candidates, Like, people want to join the ruling party to have power. They want to do that. So the competition is really high, right? They have a lot of competitions. So when that's the case, people will go to another party or even go independent and then later move to LDP. That's what happens. And that's why vice versa happens, like some people are not even like conservative, they go to LDP and drag the party from within and that sort of things. And so, like, foreigners sometimes, like this time, like Sanseido, for example, is somehow popular among the right wings in the world because people are promoting the party in the wrong way. And when I try to explain, they oppose to me. But and then they say to me, like, oh, if you don't support Sanseido, which party do you support? They ask me that. But I'm like, that's not how it works in here. In my country, that's not how it works. It has a lot to do with districts and competitions and everything. And and sometimes you don't even have like even if you support a certain party, oftentimes they don't have the party's candidate in your area. So yeah, so that's why like it's people are just extreme, you know, like they try to understand things on the table. It doesn't work like that in real life. So yeah, apparently today is watermelon day in Japan. Really? Are you gonna eat some? I wish I could. It's actually expensive, you know, like our prices are up, and I'm not getting super chat enough. And it's expensive. So the only time that I eat watermelon is when it's like discounted. Yeah. Hirano is kawaii. Oh my gosh, don't get tricked, man. My husband. Okay, I gotta translate that. Let me effectively translate it for you. お前は地雷を踏んだ. Stepped on a mine, maybe? You just stepped on a landmine. You walked right into a minefield. You triggered a landmine. Yes, you. Thinking Hirano, Uryu or Suzuko, whatever her name is now. If you think that she's good, you just stepped on a landmine. My husband said that because she's just mentally not stable. And it's interesting though that people are there's a conspiracy theory now that she's not even Japanese. So funny. I think she's just Japanese, but she's like Hong Kong first. So what else to say? How much is a full price watermelon? How much? Wait, just to be clear though, I think スイカだよねこれ。和訳。はい、スイカですね。はい。Okay, I'm just checking like if I'm picturing the right fruit, but I see like a slice would be like what, like 300 or 400 yen or something. It's スイカって一玉どんくらいだろう? I'm asking my husband. Huh? $20 maybe? I'm asking Google right now. How much does it cost? If it's a small one, it's 1,500 yen or to 3,000 yen. It's expensive, man. Yeah. Does a trade deal with Japan mean cheaper fruit prices in Japan? I don't think so. Basically, our economy will be affected very, very much. Like we can't export anymore. I mean, we can, but the prices will be up, and that will affect the consumption. People will not want to buy from us. So, yeah. She is Uryu. Uryu. I haven't actually seen her or heard her name before. Yeah, Uryu. Yeah. That name is not even Japanese, and that's why people are saying that she's not even Japanese. But when I met her in person, she was Suzuko, just a regular Japanese name. But then her family name was different from her actual information. I'm like, what? What are you? Who are are you? And then while she kind of, tricks her identity like that, like, I think she's Japanese. I'm not sure, but probably Japanese. But like, at least her name keeps changing, and I don't even know who she is. But I know that she has a Hong Konger boyfriend. I don't know what happened to her with the relationship. I mean, that's why that made her kind of, crazy emotionally, and she was like cutting her wrists and so on, and crying on Facebook, and yeah. And then also, like, when she first came to our activities, like political activities, because she is interested in Hong Kong that way, she came. That's a good thing, though, like, to take actual actions. That's something to admire. But then, like, me and my husband and other people were already in the activities in Japan. Like, Japan is an interesting country. Like, we're like the only people, like, we are working by cooperation, like, we are working together well. And then she comes in, like, newbie comes in, and then she tries to team up with a guy that shouldn't be with us because he is a troublemaker, some people call him spy. And so, like, we are like, no, like, please do not do things with him, so we stopped her. And then she just took it personally and started to, like, she didn't like it. And then she blocked my husband, she blocked me. And I'm like, I had never even talked to her directly. And then she just blocked us, because she cannot accept the fact that there are already foundations, And one post that I saw from her recently is that, like, the reason why she wanted to run in the first place, she said that because, first of all, like, of course, she's Hong Kong first, she wants to do things for Hong Konger people, and that's why she is running for the national election of Japan. And so people are taking it, really odd, like, it's odd. And on the top of that, there is this symbolic human rights type of lawmaker who is no longer like, she lost this time too. Like, she cannot come back. But there's this famous liberal parliament member, and according to Hirano, she wrote that after her, there are no, like, lobbying going on in Japan about, like, Hong Konger human rights. Like, but me and my husband, we've been working in the diet, in the parliament, parliament members. We talked, when we fly to Tokyo, we talk to national diet members, meaning parliament members. Yeah, like, Hirano, she just has no clue because she's detached from the actual lobbying or political activities even. Because she doesn't know, she's like, oh, it doesn't exist, I need to run. So we're like, what? Delusional. Super chat. Thank you so much. Watermelon tax. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Should we buy one? Okay. カットメロンカットスイカ安いや My husband is like, we are gonna get the cut watermelon. Like, in Japan, like, they just chop it, beforehand and pack it. So, like, he's like, oh, we should get those because that's less expensive. Yeah. The troublemaker is a guy in the Cape. Yeah, that guy. And she was okay with Hong Kongers, but she's just... Yeah. She does cause troubles, Because it just has this, like, she's not even political, just extreme emotional people. Like, how... I find it weird that she's on the conservative side because in regards to, like, human rights issues are actually what liberals in Japan used to do, teaming up with, like, they cooperated with Amnesty and that sort of, like, human rights organizations, international one. that is here in Japan as well. And leftist activists and DIA members, meaning parliament members, they work together. And me and my husband, we actually created this culture on the right side to insist the human rights, like the conservative side, until like we started to work as human rights activists, they were only talking about Chinese issues and how people are oppressing Tibetans, Uyghurs, Southern Mongolians, and so on. And the narrative was different, like it was more about China's Communist Party's problem rather than the human rights issues, you know what I mean? So it should be that people like Hirano is supposed to go to the left side, but because we actually created the culture on the right side, she somehow came into our community, right?
まあ叫び散らすのだけで満足するなら平野をしたい。本当に政治を難しかったら我々の話を聞けと。
My husband is so severe because he had troubles with her. I mean, like she rather, disturbed our community. So yeah, if he said, my husband just said that if you want to just yell to feel good, then go to her. But if you want to actually change the politics, then come to us. Yeah. I mean, but for that reason, though, like I don't think that she's meant for a politician. She's rather activist type, Like she's really good at agitating, obviously. She's so emotional, and that energy is something, She got many, many votes. That's amazing. Like that's not something that anyone can do, Like, and I have to respect her on that. However, the politician is a lawmaker. You have to... it's not like you just yell your frustrations to the world. Activists should do that so that politicians can take the idea and reflect it into a policy, right? She's doing a different thing. I don't know if she can, endure in the diet if she does, make it one day, or if she did make it. You have to sit in the place, listening to things that you're not even interested in. And you have to think about the resolutions and all these policies that you're not interested in, different field and so on. You have to study and you have to take your time on that instead of focusing on Hong Kong issue. So, I don't know. A lot of sips will vote. What is simps? Well. Forgot I saw it here on this channel. I mean, at least from her, I think that you can see like the frustrations among the Japanese people. The problem that I saw recently about her is that there's this naturalized Chinese guy, Sekihei. I don't know how you would, is it? Yeah, Sekihei-san, very famous. Like he goes on TV, he's just nationwide, he's known nationwide, and also like this naturalized Chinese guy, Sekihei-san, he's so popular among the conservative circle. Me and my husband, we know him, like my husband, I think, are friends with him too, like I just know him, but my husband is close with him. But he's so good, But he used to be, of course, a Chinese. And then this time he ran. Once, when he showed that he's going to run, at first people bashed him because he's naturalized, right? Because the right wings and conservatives in Japan, there are many people that don't want, like they are kind of like, they when they think about Japanese people, they think about ethnicity. So there are types of people like that. And so he was bashed so much that one time, like the first time he said that he's gonna run, like recently, he actually stopped. She said that, oh, I'm not gonna run because people are not gonna like it, right? But then After a while, he said again, like, oh, I'm going to run regardless. And then he ran and won, right? And then people like Hirano, Shizuko or Wuryu or whatever, like she is saying that she doesn't support him. What was that? Like, there's a screenshot here. Hirano is saying like, do not trust Chinese people, and she's gonna make a list of all those people who supported Sekihei, the Chinese guy, a former Chinese guy. She's a racist. She's just a racist. You know, I work with Chinese people actually. Like, there are many Chinese people in Japan who fled from China because of the Tiananmen Square massacre, and later on, there are people flee to Japan. Of course, there are bad Chinese people, like Communist Party type of Chinese people taking advantage of Japan as well. But Chinese people, like, it's a big number of people, you know. There are many different types of people, and there are like freedom fighters, you know, people like us who fight against the Chinese Communist Party. They want to defeat the regime and go back. Seriously, they want to do that. They want China to be a democratic country. They've been fighting internationally. And so Hirano's stance doesn't match us even, you know? It's really troublesome for us because, like, in order to pass a resolution and so on, like, we work with Chinese people in Japan, you know? Because we need to emphasize that how much damages that Chinese Communist Party is causing even to Chinese people, you know? So, and then Hirano is like, no Chinese. That's not gonna work politically. At least for Japan, that's not how it works. So that's why it's hard to work with people from different backgrounds actually, because when we protest against CCP, Chinese Communist Party, it used to be a problem because, like, first of all, like Tibetans, Uyghurs, or the Mongolians, there can be, depending on how big they insist their territory is, sometimes it overlaps, you know, on the map. So sometimes they have to fight over borders, you know. But then they just let's cooperate, you know, they work together. And then they somehow work together. But then Chinese people, sometimes it's more effective politically to work with Chinese Democrats, as I said. But then those people, those Tibetans, Uyghurs, the Mongolians, and Hong Kongers too, like, they have negative feelings about Chinese in general. Of course, they're the victims. Of course, that's gonna happen, you know. But then politically, you just have to work it out sometimes. And they are, you know, sacrificing their emotions to make things work politically. But people like Hirano, she's just being emotional and don't think about all these efforts, you know, done by those victims. And it's just wrong. It's just wrong, you know. But then Japanese people are frustrated with, like, over tourism and Chinese, like, bad type of Chinese people, you know, ignoring our rules and not even dropping our money because they have their own community and they don't have to drop their money to Japan in that case. So there are problems, but for that, we need to make laws, you know, like, we need a good system to prevent that, you know, to get rid of all this bad things. And that's the job of National Diet members, parliament members. And Hirano is just screaming all these negative things about Chinese people. And that's not matching the job, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I can understand that many Japanese don't want gaijin MPs. Yeah. But then, so about the naturalized politicians, you know, for example, let's say that I go to America and naturalize. I don't know your conditions, but let's say that if America allows naturalized people, like naturalized Americans, to run for like your congressman level elections, right? Let's say that I naturalize and I become an American citizen and run for the election. Do you support me or AOC? Do you support me? Would you support me or Bernie Sanders? Like that kind of thing, you know. Like in Japan, you know, there are, of course, like naturalized. We already have naturalized parliament members, and then there are Japanese parliament members who are actually like communists. We have the Japanese Communist Party, right? We have the Social Democratic Party. And even among LDP, there are liberals. And compared to them, this naturalized Chinese guy, Sekihei, is actually way better, you know? And from the naturalized standpoint, he sees the problem in Japanese society because it can be easily hijacked and so on. So like he wants to stop that. So which is better, you know? Like I do understand the, like, of course, like emotionally, of course, like there is this uncomfortable part because I'm a human too, you know, that different race, you know, representing us. It's kind of weird when you think about, when you speak from like an emotional level or ethnic level, but this is politics. What's important is the goal. Like we have the system of like the parliament and everything in order to make policies, right? To make this world, this society a better place, right? And the goal is to make the good policies to make things work. And then people are focusing on different things that don't matter to the goal. So, I don't know. Of course, the representation. So if Japanese people do not like the representation of like naturalized people representing Japan, then we can just vote them out. But that was not the case this time. The Chinese guy actually won. So whatever Hirano or all these frustrated people say, like he won, and that's what Japanese people want. So is it raining over there? I hear water. It's actually ice cubes, because my husband is preparing ice cubes. He's always like right in front of me. There's a kitchen section of our house, and he's already always doing something there. Sorry for the noise. Yeah. Oh man, I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry. Hey Yoko, hello, thanks for coming. She's appealing to emotions, not logic. Exactly, that's the same case for Sanseito too. Because when you listen to Sanseito, they're like just agitating the fear, you know, and that's exactly what like a MLM, like multi-level marketing people do. There are many like ML, it's so hard to say, MLM groups that are supporting Sanseito, you know, because they care about, like in America you have Maha, right? Just like that, like there are a group of Japanese people who don't trust the food, like food additives and so on. Like they want healthy lifestyle, healthy foods. And I'm kind of one of them, but not extreme like them, you know. But anyway, though there are like MLM types of groups of people, you know, who support Sanseito. And yeah, why was I talking about that though? Sorry. The MLM is distracting me. Yeah. They support the party. Which comment was I looking at? Oh yeah, now I remember. So when you do multi-level marketing, like Amway, for example, there are lots of Amway people supporting Sanseito. Amway in Japan is seen very, very negatively because it just affects friendships and so on, you know. So people don't like that when those people impose all these ideas, and when they want to sell to us, we don't like that. So it's not popular. People despise that business too. The pyramid scheme, that's not popular here, even though it is kind of popular, if you know what I mean. But my friends are into that sort of things. So I had to listen to my friends explaining how healthy the foods are, the like protein, blah blah blah. Like I've heard it all, and I found a pattern, which is that they agitate fear. You know, like, oh, Yoko, do you know what's in your food that you're eating? Oh, do you know what kind of plastic that you should avoid? And yeah, like plastic bottles even are dangerous. And, oh, a lot of additives. And oh, you should use this filter because it's dangerous. While it's all like evitable and so on. But yeah, they and I do get what they're saying, but the problem is that they just get into the fears of people. They make people worry and anxious, and they get the profit out of it, if you know what I mean. And Sanseito is supported by that sort of people with that sort of like business mind, you know. And that's why some people, like there are many people, you know, that are kind of criticizing the party for that sort of like a culture inside a party, you know, that they agitate, and not really thinking about the solutions. They're just agitating to make people frustrated and then get them to support them, if you know what I mean. Maha, yeah, make America healthy again. Is this stuff popular anyway? It kind of depends. Like there are many different types of people in Japan. There are some cooks, for example, you know, like a cooking account are popular in Japan. They're everywhere. YouTube, X, Instagram. They show like recipes and so on. And some people are attacked by all this like health freaks, you know, saying like, oh, do not use this this product because it's dangerous for your health and so on. And then this random guy, you know, that shows recipes for like, he focuses on like delicious foods instead of health. So he uses whatever he can, right? And then like for seasoning and so on. But the seasoning too, like it's, of course, like we have all these conditions to make products. So everything is safe, you know, by our standards, and it's all legal, right? And this guy uses some seasoning product, and then there are a group of people that attack him for using that product and so on. So like we have that when it comes to health issues, we have that sort of battles as well. Amway, yeah. Anything good about it? Yeah. It's still popular though, but it just depends on what type of person or what kind of community you are in. And so what happened with Sanseito is that, but my understanding is that my friends actually told me like people say negative things about Amway, and that how, you know, like, oh, people like don't like it when they hear like, oh, Amway, because, oh, are you doing Amway kind of things. But then their understanding is that Amway is like basically you can like, it's like they have all the products so that you can run the business by yourself, even though it's pyramid, you know. their understanding is that they become a store basically with the merchandise that they can use, right? So yeah. So what happens is that all this like anti-Sanseito people are saying like, oh, it's backed by Amway, but I don't think that's the case. It's probably that it's a big pyramid scheme happening at all the places in Japan, and some community are probably pushing that, or maybe headquarter level. I don't know if it's headquarter level. I don't know because I don't have information, but I don't know if it's the entire. I don't think it's realistic to say that all people in Amway are supporting Sanseito, if you know what I mean, because then the number will be much higher too. Yeah. Maha hates Ajinomoto, aka MSG. Yeah, exactly. Ajinomoto is the one that I was talking about. Japanese food is pretty healthy, yeah. And also we can drink from tap water. I use filter, by the way, but yeah. Hello, Yoko. Hello. Thanks for coming. No more super chat. What do you want to talk about? Give me super chat and I'll talk about it. A conservative Japanese person would be better. America is also a country not based on ethnicity. Many foreigners in Europe run for conservative parties, but will vote for their ethnic interests. I see. There are lots of Indians now in the world. Their population is just so big. Let's see. Anything else? Tap water at my Japanese home was disgusting. Yeah, all the houses are bad, but yeah. Modern Japanese sweets often taste artificial, and I saw Japanese Fanta also used a high fructose corn syrup instead of sugar. Yeah. I don't drink that sort of like artificial things either. But I think what matters is that what do you mainly drink or what do you mainly eat and how much you exercise and so on. Yesterday, actually, my husband and I we ate out in this very very reasonable restaurant, like a family restaurant, and I saw this like gigantic guy with a gigantic girl. It was so bizarre because like in Japan you don't usually see that sort of like big people, you know, like you can be chubby or kind of big, but you don't regularly see like big people. So I was like, the entire time I was eating, I'm like, how did they get the big in Japan, you know? But so that can happen even in Japan too. But Japanese people are, most of them, you know, most of us are thin. Why? Because we care about health. And even though it's available there, you know, the drinks and so on, it doesn't mean that we are drinking it 24/7. Sometimes it's fun to, you know, consume some stimulating things, you know. So no, the small wrestlers are actually, they have muscles, and even though they're big, they're not in big like that. So that was really weird. You were afraid they would also eat you. Maybe that was the part. Maybe I was cautious in watching them eat. I'm like, please don't come to me. I'm eating. Please don't come to me, kind of thing. Speaking of which, guys, you know the crazy news that I saw? Let me see. Where was that? Oh, here. Oh, there's no photo. But here it says, local authorities, bear insurance. They have a bear insurance now because, there are lots of animals, including wild bears, attacking people, especially in the north of Japan, northeast of Japan. And so this is about some insurance company. They have a new products, basically. It's not products. What do you call it? Insurance. But yeah, so when the locals get rid of bears and wild animals in general, they can shoot. Japan doesn't allow you to allow gun ownership, but when it comes to hunting and so on, you can get a certification. But when you do use guns, then the guns could end up being on buildings and so on, by accident. Or cars too, bam, and then it can attack all the other places, right? There's a possibility, so that this insurance cover that. So it's crazy time that we are living in. It's so hot now, and then there are bears, and bears do not really sleep in the winter anymore. Yeah. Give me super chat. I'm gonna keep saying that. Oh, by the way, I'm likely to make a Japanese YouTube channel. This is I've been using this used to be a Japanese politics channel, and then I started talk about politics in English, and then it has turned into an English channel, and then my Japanese audience is one of them actually commented recently, oh, are you not going to talk about Japanese politics in Japanese? I'm like, oh. And then, so I'm going to make another channel to post Japanese politics, especially because I need to make sure that Ishiba quits. And also, today we are experiencing all this, battle against the extreme right wings and extreme left wings. They are saying the same things. That's how bad the politics is right now, because they're so emotional, and also they don't even have ideology. They don't have, they're just claimers. They just don't like, they just want to complain. So while complaining, they just came together, Anyway, so we are living in a really, really strange world right now. And the phenomenon is actually happening in Europe too. When I talk to European friends, they're actually liberals, the kinds that we talk to. Often liberal, not all, but often liberals. But then we actually get along with same values. It's so weird, because we are fighting for common sense, I know that you guys don't like leftists in general, but there are people with common sense, not all LGBT activists, for example. Yoko, you have so many YouTube channels already, I know. What happened to my original channel that turned it into a music channel that I no longer use? Yeah. Music is, I wish I could go back to music, but it's just time consuming, and I don't really have, now I can verbalize things, so I don't need to use music anymore. So that's why I'm not making music, but yeah. Sometimes I want to make it though. But when I do make music now, I talk about politics because it's more fun, and then I don't have to post that on music channel. I can post on political channel. But yeah. It's but this time though, I think I'm gonna do well, hopefully. Yeah, but I will keep, these live streams here, And if I'm encouraged enough by another channel that I'm gonna start, then hopefully that motivation will also motivate me to make English videos as well. Yeah. Black pillars? What is black pillars? The gunshot things? Time for me to go to bed. I work tomorrow. Oh no! Please have some sleep. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Good luck tomorrow with your work. Japanese guns shoot on their own. No. Being a hunter for wild animals are illegal in Japan. No, if you can be a hunter. So when we hear the news that there are wild bears hanging around, then this association people, hunters, they go out to hunt the bear to protect the people. So that's a common thing in that area. I live in Kyushu, like southern area of Japan, like the west side of Japan, and we don't have bears here. But yeah, we have monkeys and so on too. The monkeys are actually dangerous too because they have, like, wild animals in general, like they have like a bad things, virus and so on. So doom posting. Oh. U.S. politics in a nutshell. You don't have guns, you use katana swords. One of the parliament members' office that we visit, like he has a model sword in his office. Yeah. But yeah, if you're really good at hunting, maybe you should hunt in Japan. Yeah. There are some weird animal, what do you call that in English? I don't know if you do the same. GBA. GBA って英語でなんて言うの? Wild game meat? Huh? Gibier? Game meat? Wild game? Why? I don't even know. GBA. Gamey? You know how like some people eat weird meat, right? And there are it's rare, but we do have restaurants like that here that offer the meat, the kind of meat that we don't usually eat. And I've been to one like locally, and one of them actually had like bear, and one of the bears that they hunted up north, they offered it to the restaurant, but that one though didn't attack people though. He just came down to the town, I think. Wild game meat is like deer. Yeah, so we do have that sort of things. So like, and weird animals that you don't usually eat. Yeah. But they want you also to give up. They are used as psyop. What are you talking about? Black pillars is an ISO term. I don't know what it means either. Dude, I've been talking for over an hour. You gotta give me super chat or else I need to end. Yep. This newspaper, by the way. Yesterday, we wanted to get a copy of Yomiuri Shimbun. They didn't have it. Oh, wait, there's bear. You see? So I'm gonna introduce that, but bear. I see the photo here. I didn't see that. See, like 2 people dead this month. So It's this bear. Oh, and now I saw the interesting things here. They have a new like type of garbage can or trash can, and then it says like "No gonna let bears eat." So like the handle, the bears cannot open it. So that's the new kind of garbage can that they have outside. So that's interesting. So we need to think about how to, how not to let them come down and so on. This is Yomiuri Shimbun from yesterday. Population 7 people. Chinese money. So there's you see the map here. This is a big map, by the way, on the front page. So Japanese like Honshu area. Like I live around here, you know, like in this island, Yamaguchi. There's a U.S. military base, and then Japan's maritime self-defense force base, and then here. This map is coming from here, and it's an island. Kasazashima, or something like that. Kasasajima, and there are lots of Chinese money flooding into there. So the problem is that if Chinese people they do have owned the land, and then the place that this Chinese guy got, it's facing the Seto Inland Sea. So then because there are so it's facing like this ocean, like this water, what's called like Seto Inland Sea. And then there are lots of bases. So he could just hop on a ship and circle around and watch all these bases, both Japan and the U.S. bases. So also, Sankei Shimbun also talking about like foreigners who, escape from Japan. Or just simply leaving Japan and without paying our taxes. So they are now looking into it, what to do about it with what's happening and so on. So that's good. What else? Like Sankei Shimbun is so good, but because Japanese people are not reading newspaper anymore, this company, this news company, like the Sankei group is big, but this news company was not big to begin with because they had to compete with other big newspaper companies, and they were not selling well, so they had to shrink it, and then it's very thin compared to other newspaper. Yeah. What's interesting about Sankei is that they all talk about like foreigners and like a really conservative ideology, So it's really. I've been reading Yomiuri for a while now, so I kind of feel strange because it's more, I don't know, it's good, but Trump senpai here too. I saw that footage a little bit, but I didn't know what it's about. I haven't read this article yet, but yeah. Talking about Trump's approval rate, 37%. No. But yeah, all this Epstein file, thing is all because of Elon Musk, I feel. I don't know. Maybe it was. Is Lola Lumar, is she attacking Trump too? I haven't been following the news much recently, so. Inland Sea, yeah. Well, I guess it's bear are more peaceful than New Zealand's foreigners. Yeah. I'm very late, but at least you're here. Thank you. Ahoy, beautiful people. Hello. Yeah, bears are just hungry. And also they just learned the good taste, you know? It was so crazy. I think I shared this with you before, but yeah, there was this bear that attacked a female, like 74 or something year old female, and then years later, the same bear came back and had attacked another person. It's the same bear because we can tell by the DNA. So scary. Lola Lumar, she's a clown. Laura Lumar is, I don't like feel her, you know? Like I don't like vibrate with her. I don't know how to say that in English. She's on point often, but I just feel kind of artificial. I call her Lunar. Loner. Surprising to hear that newspaper are on their way out in Japan. Do you get the English-Japanese newspaper too? No, I only have Yomiuri recently. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Japanese newspaper, by the way, sometimes teach English. It's a thing. I wonder which day it was. Maybe today. This is today. Oh, by the way, the front page today. I'm making a mess here. Front page is about our infrastructure. So like sinkholes and void, like under the like a street, roads and so on. So surface, sinkhole, and also like void underneath. And also like some pipes are damaged as well. So 44%. This is about, I guess, pipes, but yeah, they have illustration too here explaining what's happening under, like within, like underneath the roads and so on. So yeah, infrastructure are really going bad because it's been decades after we built all these things. And so now, like, not only the economy is bad, we have this type of problem. So we do need tax money. But then, in order to boost our economy, we should rather, decrease our consumption tax and so on. So it's a really hard time right now. Like how to collect money and how to use it and so on. So now they're checking, like, if the infrastructure is okay, and then all the dots show that there are sinkholes and so on. So it's really bad. And then English, I was gonna. Oh yeah, it says like, oh, this. They have like this column, like every Sunday or maybe more, they have this section on the newspaper. It goes on here, and then it says at the end, the English version will be published on Friday. English version is going to be published on Friday. So we can study English that way. I thought I read some English here though. Oh yeah. You know, like because in Japanese, like entrance exams and so on, often you have to read newspaper, or also like you need to like when you take English tests, you need to talk about all this like a news topics, and then state your opinion and so on. So yeah, it's not only for information. I thought I saw English. Oh, now I remember what I saw. Ugh. Guys, give me a super chat or I will have to end this stream. Macron, we will save Europe by our example and our solidarity. Macron making it to this paper. Super chat, thank you so much. You got tax, yes, tax money. For me only. For me only. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Me so trashed. Are you trashed? What? Yeah. So Macron, it's like I was looking at Macron in a negative way, but because he's a liberal. But then when I heard that he was on the phone with Putin for like 4 hours or 5 hours, I'm like, wow, this guy works hard. Because did you see the like Tucker Carlson interview with Putin? Putin was going on and on and on about his delusional historical history lesson. Tucker Carlson had to sit down and listen to that nonsense for 30 minutes. And but Macron can do it for hours. That's something, right? But yeah, it's talking about how like the UK and France nuclear weapons, can they protect Europe? So that's what they're talking about. But I know that it's a mirror. Guys, if you support me financially, then I'm gonna get a new computer and a good webcam. So that hopefully my quality will get better. The thing is that I do have a laptop, but I need to clean the fan. But then if I need to clean the fan, somebody else, like I have to take it to Apple Store or something. And then what that would mean is that we are not gonna have laptop for a while, but then we cannot work that way. So that's why we're screwed. But yeah. Yeah, France is good. Like the European countries, where did I read that? What I'm realizing now, like reading the newspaper and so on, I realize like how Japan and European countries are now working way better than before. It's like the byproduct of Trump's tariffs and so on, because we gotta stick to each other because America's politics is so tough on us. But then, and as I said before, we had to cooperate like this with or without Trump anyway. That's the direction that we are heading to work like free world coming together, especially G7 nations. We need to work together. So it's not that bad, right? But the problem would be for America that I don't know how much power you would have like in terms of like leadership, because if you don't want other countries to dislike you, I feel like I'm saying so many times in this stream. Yeah. This is Yep. Philippines too. We are working together. Oh, America and Philippines working together. That's good. Oh man, there's another what conflict in where Thailand and Cambodia, right? Like people, why do countries fight so much? Like, I wish they would wait for a little while, until the economy stabilizes in the world. But I guess that in the opposite side, authoritarian side of the world probably do not care. They have their system and they have their economy going. Oh, I should have read this beforehand. Now I see the coverage of this deal. So it's, yeah, that's how just showing you what it looks like on our newspaper. Yeah, they analyze so much, but I don't know. I don't know what to trust right now. Because Japanese people are now emotional, like conservatives want Ishiba to go, and they are going to look at what happened, this deal, they're gonna look at this deal negatively. They're gonna try to find faults, and also they say that they cannot trust Ishiba. So it doesn't matter what the content of the deal is. They just want to criticize. They want to make Ishiba go away anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, like the prime minister says, like stepping down, whether stepping down or not, I cannot say yet, he says, after election result. Anyway, anything else to talk about? Because of the super chat, I'm gonna talk for a little while, but yeah. Hirano is better looking than Lumor. She has a unique, Lumor has a unique appearance. But she was like bashing somebody, some female with like belly sticking out or something. Like she was bashing by appearances. And that's scary. I don't like the female, like when females catfight, I don't like that. That's because that's scary, I don't. I'm better with guys. I used to be a tomboy, and I'm always surrounded by guy, like male, not because I'm popular or anything, because I'm like one of them. So it's easier to communicate with boys or guys in general. It is against unwritten law to be normal anymore. Cities in America are hell. It's seriously for America. I think the fentanyl is making things worse. Like people, like leftist ideology is already making Americans go crazy, and on the top of that, Chinese fentanyl is coming into America, and even more, like people are going even more crazy. Yeah, what a time we live in. I thought that zombies and so on are only what happens in movies or games and so on, and I see all this drug addicts in America, and I'm like, oh, that's real. The easy investment Trump wanted, the other stuff, whatever. Yeah. Extremely foolish for Cambodia to attack Thailand. Yeah. Cambodia, by the way, is Hun Sen, the president, is a puppet of China, communist China. So I'm not gonna side with Hun Sen. Will Japanese buy American rice and cars now that there is no tariffs on them? Oh, speaking of which, we just got a second bag of American rice. This time it's the same package as U.S. Embassy in Japan posted. I should take a picture later. It's there, but I don't know. My husband isn't here. He's in another room. Yeah, we got a new bag because we ate all of the bag of rice that we had. It's really actually really good. Like if you like, I mean, right after you cook it, it's really good. If you put it in the fridge or something for a while, then it's like too it goes too dry. But then one day though, we had like extra rice that we made, and then I had put it in the fridge. The next day, my husband actually made us like a fried rice. Is that it? Like, you know, you fry it in a pan with eggs and meat and so on. My husband made it, and because like for that kind of food, it's better that the rice is dry, you know. It doesn't really work with Japanese rice. And so when I had that, I'm like, oh, this is actually good, you know. Yeah. Maybe because of that, my English vocabulary is going well. I picked up. I realized, like, you know, I have time. I actually have. I am busy, but I do have time compared to like normal workers. So I decided to study English again. It's like what's interesting is that like it's a collection of all this you know, vocabs like that, and it's mirrored, I know, but it's I sometimes know all these words, but other times like here, yeah, I know many of them, but there are words that I don't know, and I really like studying English like this, like vocabs, you know, like after learning the basic grammar, I learned, I used to remember words like this, like high school level, and then yeah, and I realized like one day, like the day before yesterday, I memorized 50 of this. And the next day, which is yesterday, I didn't have much time, but then I remember like 20. It's actually easy for me to memorize because you know how I do it? I asked ChatGPT to show me how the like historical background of each word, you know, like how was it formed? And then, for example, expedite, that's the new word that I learned. Expedite. Where is it? Expedite. I know it's mirrored, but you can kind of see like expedite an order, right? So then it was like X, like, you know, outer X, and then ped, like pedal and pedestrian and so on, like a ped means like leg and so on. And then so it said that it's like, you know, letting go of something around your leg to just let it go and go out and so on. So then it goes fast and quick, right? So then you can expedite an order. Just like that, like when I attach a meaning and so on, and if I learn the context of it, then I don't forget. So it's really fun. I feel like I'm a smart person. Yeah. Can't memorize. That's a good one. Yeah. English is from everywhere. I know. And what's tricky is when it comes from French. Oh my gosh, French. The spelling of French is so difficult. Is it souvenir and so on in French too? Yeah. Capiche. Capiche. Why? I love how they wear the crazy costumes and do flips and stuff. What were you talking about? Let's see who is trying to take whose land. You will see it's the tide taking land. Zombies are real in America. We just had one as president. Oh, true. True. Cambodia and Thailand are both close to China, Sally. Thailand too. I haven't been following Thailand much. I know Cambodia because there are Cambodians in Japan. There are many Cambodians here. Sometimes, I'm not going to say that, but Cambodians, and they are part of our, political activities, like human rights activities against China. The Cambodians here in Japan, they work with us too because as I said, like Hun Sen, their president is China's puppet, but those Cambodians do not like that, It's a dictatorship basically because their opposition party got caught or like they had to escape to another country because that's how bad the regime is. Like they couldn't, like it's the same as Hong Kong, like they couldn't have a normal election. So that's why they have to do it in a different way, calling for understanding and awareness from the international society and so on. And I know Cambodia like that. Thailand, I don't know Thai people here. I bet that there are some, but I haven't met them. English is mainly from northern Germany and France, also Latin. So when you are French or German, then you would see your own words in English or similar things. That's the advantage, I guess, for Europeans. Like Japanese people are always impressed by Europeans speaking English, like most people, I guess, they can, like at least like even if it's like broken level, like at least they can communicate, right, with in English. But Japanese people, it's difficult because everything is different, right? So, but now I realize like, oh, it's taken from each other. Yeah. I think French films are still good though. I bet. Yeah. Cool. Japanese people love like the image of like what we picture as Paris, for example. It's so like class and like it's elegant and all these fancy things, beautiful scenery and so on. And now there are lots of immigrants and it's like our dreams is getting destroyed, Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Hey, let's see. I can understand German, French, forget it. Really? The migration happened like 1500 years ago. Paris syndrome, yeah. I mean, Japanese people have that in everywhere though. The sun is about to rise over here, really? It's still light here though. It's actually right, I can't show you because I don't want to show the neighborhood, but yeah. It's kind of weird. So when the sun rises and it's still here, are we looking at the same sun? Is that kind of cool? We should watch the sun together one time, like someday. Like, dude, are you seeing this? And then you will be looking at the different aspect of the sun. Cool. I always look at the sun is like we are like passing the sun onto you, over to you or something like that, even though that's not the case. Did you know that recently there was a news that like a day was shorter than before and so on, like like the Earth's, how do you call it? Like spinning. I remember looking this up and I forgot that. Wait, no, not that kanji. This one. Rotation? Spin? You know, spinning. The earth is spinning and the speed probably changed recently. Yep. Anyway, man. Speaking of the sun rising, I'm getting sleepy. It's only 6, but I've been sleepy lately. I think like I'm getting old. Rotation. That's what you call it? Different photos hitting different eyes. Photons. Photons? What is photons? Anyway, I should probably let you guys go because I'm getting sleepy and you're probably getting awake because you passed the sleepiest phase. You know how when you're sleepy, you're super duper sleepy, but if you endure for a little while, then I guess it's probably due to your brain span, you know, like a 90 minutes kind of shift, and then you turn into like super awake phase, and then you can't fall asleep. I always do that. Good night, Princess Yoko. Oh, I'm a princess. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Yeah. Thank you for those who gave me super chat too. I really, really appreciate it. So tired you stuck awake. Yeah. That happens to me sometimes because sometimes I need to hurry and get my work done and I have to just finish it and it's like in the morning when by the time I end it, you know, finish it. Yeah, I'm coming to realize that I'm probably like ADHD. I have hyperfocus. I have a problem of hyperfocus, and yeah, and that's why like I get lost in time. Yesterday too, like last night, like hours passed, and like when I look at the time on my phone, I'm like, what? What? You know, I'm like so much into the zone. Like speaking here too, like time flies for me. It's scary, and it's not good for my health because I forget sleeping. Yeah. Anyway, but I hope you get sleep. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Abba-san Yoko. Oba-san Yoko? Apparently, Ishiba intends to stay on. Yes. We're gonna kick him out, though. Leftists are supporting him, even cheering him on in front of the National Diet, our parliament building. But we're gonna make sure that he goes away before August 15th, which is for us the end of the World War II, even though technically it's not. But that's when our emperor at the time said like, oh, we no longer are gonna fight, you know. So that's the ending for us. And on August 15th, Ishiba want to publish a statement, and we need to stop that from happening because he's gonna say stupid things. So, yeah. Anyway, super chat in the end. Thank you so much again. Have a good night. Until next time. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. 配信ありがとう。また次回。また次回ね。ADHD means you can't focus, you have obsessive compulsive. No, ADHD actually includes a hyperfocus too. So, I don't know. That's what I'm learning. I should probably go see a doc and see what's happening. I want a brain scan. Anyway. We need Yoko back on American news outlets. Yoko contact Newsmax. Newsmax? Oh, yeah. I brought wine, by the way. I'm an alcoholic. Oh, alcohol. Alcohol is good sometimes. Yeah. Teach me. Yeah. Okay. I hear the bell in the neighborhood. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's reunite again next week. Wait, today's the 27th. Is it gonna be August? Ooh. Okay. Anyway, next month is my birthday time, by the way. Next month, August. Anyway, I should stop talking. Thank you so much again for watching. Let's reunite next week. Okay. Bye bye. Good night. Have a sweet dreams and have a good day wherever